Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and if this is your first time joining us, thank you very much and hope you enjoy the episodes. Hope you stay for a while. This is going to be a pretty exciting and I'd say uneventful video. Uneventful for you, definitely not uneventful for me because of this story that I'm about to share, but I'm pretty excited because of what's behind me. Yeah, it looks like two big holes, a lot of destruction, a lot of breaking, but I'm very, very excited of where we are past that point. Dana, unfortunately, is not going to be joining me this morning simply because she's got a broken toe and standing on cold concrete for any period of time is too painful for her. So she's going to join us a little bit later. But I wanted to show this portion of this story, this episode, because it's important for us to be able to kind of be real with everyone, explain the challenges, walk through when we hit obstacles, learning opportunities, or even mistakes, because we're all going to end up making them at some point, depending upon what project you have. And we're hoping that some of those things that we run across will either save you time, or when you hit them, you know what to do. This was pretty big for us because this is a dream. The opportunity to be able to have a two-post lift in our own property to do a lot of the automotive maintenance that we do is big. If you're an automotive kind of person, then you know how big that is. We get to move away from jack stands and regular floor jacks, which have been great for the past 30 years. But for some of the projects, especially with Clara, the Resto Mod, that is just not going to be able to do that well anymore because we have to be underneath that vehicle to take the transmission out, take the exhaust out, do a lot of things that we just need more room to be able to do and do safely. So we made the decision to go full send and accomplish one of our dreams of getting the lift. From that point, it was deciding on which lift. Is it a two-post? Is it a four-post? What's going to work best for us? Definitely a big question for anybody in this situation. Based on the work that we're going to be doing, the two-post lift was really it. It's a little bit less money, but there are requirements that come along with it that many people really don't think about when they're thinking about, oh, I'd love to have a lift in my garage. One of those requirements is concrete thickness. So after determining the company and the lift that I wanted to go with, which was a Titan 9000 KFP low profile lift, looked at their requirements, and they have a requirement thickness for concrete slab of 4 inches. 4 inches is one of those things that size does matter. And I joke with this because you think 4 inches really isn't that much. And come on, it's a concrete slab. It's got to be at least 4 inches to hold all the weight that these shops and pole barns have. So I went to my favorite store of Harbor Freight here locally, picked up a hammer drill, was very excited, came back to the house, told her I'm heading out, I'm going to drill, I'm going to go ahead and meet this piece of the requirement that we need for the lift so I can go ahead and order it. Came out, started drilling, and that's when the bad news started to hit me. The slab was done piss poor, and I was hitting depths of 4 inches, 3.5, 4, and even 5 inches in a couple of spots. That was crushing. I knew at that point that this was not going to be as easy as I thought it was going to be and potentially just totally kill the dream. Talked with her about it, was pretty upset that it was another thing here that just was not done correctly. So I contacted the rep at Titan and talked to him. Great guy, and he told me what he actually had to do at his place and what others have had to do, where you have to rip up the concrete and you have to actually make the pad thicker in that location. We talked about what that would cost, and it was almost going to double the project cost. That was a little tough to swallow. kind of sat back and really started to do the pros versus cons with it to determine on, is it really worth going this far with it? We ultimately decided yes. I scoured the marketplace here locally looking at concrete companies, and there are some that only will lay down new slabs, and then there are some that do work like this, that will come out and cut it up, do what you need to do in order to install lifts. So I chose one local gentleman here. We love supporting local businesses, so it was a good opportunity to be able to employ him with some work in addition to what he already has going on, and take on this small job. He came out, took some measurements, figured out it was going to be something that he could do, and we went ahead and started. Titan has a pretty broad requirement. And I say broad because it is so large compared to what other manufacturers who may only want you to have 6 to 12 inches on each side of the column on the lift. Titan wants you to have a square of 4 foot by 4 foot and at least 12 inches deep. So that was going to increase the cost of the project a little bit more because of that requirement. But for liability and safety's sake, we had to make sure that it was done right per Titan's guidelines in case anything happened, and we wanted to make sure we were protected ourselves. So I encourage you to make sure that you look through the guidelines, the manual of a lift if you're planning on getting one, to see what theirs are, because it's going to vary quite a bit. He came out yesterday. We started doing the cutting. I tried to shoot video, and it just did not work. It was too dusty. The video didn't turn out well, so I'll end up posting up some stills here. We ended up cutting the concrete and digging down, hauled off about 20 wheelbarrows of dirt and gravel. Then the next requirement was to have the new slab pinned to the old. So we drilled in holes into the old slab, as you can see, and put in rebar pins. The mesh that you see back over here will end up going down in the bottom. Concrete truck comes out this morning. I'm excited about that. I'm hoping that there aren't any issues and we can get the concrete in, get it leveled out and smoothed so it can cure. It's going to take 10 days to cure before we actually get the lift. And then we're going to have the fun joy of installing it here, getting it wired up, and actually accomplishing a dream. I can't imagine that I'm saying that, but I'm so damn excited, especially to get through this rough part and just all this shit here. It's been very frustrating. So join us along in the rest of the trip, rest of the journey, laugh a little bit, and see if this is something that you want to take on if you're actually considering getting a lift as well. All right, big day has come. Thanks for watching the episode and being a part of our journey. We do appreciate it. Be sure to look for the follow-up video of bringing the lift home, unloading, and getting it fully installed. Now it's been a long day, a lot of work, and I'm ready to head inside and enjoy a drink with Dana. So why don't you come join us? The link up top will take you to the video to see exactly what spirit we're reviewing, and enjoying this week. Take care.